Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Soto. Most of you know me as Coach Soto on the Boys of 3-5 Facebook page and on social media outlets throughout America, military outlets. Today we're bringing you a very special event. It is the Granite Bay renaming of the post office over here in this community. This is something that's been in the work for years now. Since his death, this is something that Congressman McClintock in Placer County had wanted to do back since when Lcpl Victor Dew was killed. So we're very excited about being here today because this is something that he has worked on for years, and now it is coming to fruition today. The Granite Bay Post Office will be renamed in Lcpl Victor Dew's honor. We're very, very excited about bringing this event to you today. If you recall, we did something similar to this when Sergeant Matthew Abate received the Navy Cross, and we blasted that across America, live stream to the troops in Afghanistan, and it was a phenomenal event. So to be here today, to be able to do this again in the Schumacher family and the Lcpl Victor Dew's honor is something that we're very honored to do. As behalf of the honor group, thank you very much, America, and we hope you enjoy what you're going to see today. God bless you all.
So great we couldn't get it outside.
We are here for the official dedication ceremony to honor Lcpl Victor Dew. Please welcome Corporal Marvin Arnold.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out today. It really means a lot. It's a big turnout. Not what I was really expecting, but I'd just like to say that Victor Dew meant a lot to me. He was my best friend in our original work up to the Singing Afghanistan deployment. But as friends of mine can tell you, I spent more time in his room in the barracks when we lived there than I did in my own. And it was just the little things that made spending time with Victor so important to me. All we did basically was watch hilarious YouTube videos together. We watched zombie movies and Japanese anime movies from his hard drive. Just spent countless hours doing almost nothing. I did try sometimes to get him out of the barracks, actually go out in town with us, and he was reluctant a lot of the time. His excuse was he was saving money for him and Courtney's wedding and honeymoon. She really meant the world to him. And it was kind of funny too, because when we would talk about our girlfriends together, both of our girlfriends were named Courtney, so we'd have to specify by saying my Courtney or your Courtney. One funny story to tell was shortly after arriving to the fleet in 3-5, we went on our first field out together. It was a machine gun package, just to better familiarize ourselves with machine guns, because that's now our primary MOS. But we had a little bit of downtime one day, and we were just sitting around, and a very, very large spider started walking towards us. And at this point, we alerted everybody to the presence of this spider. And we did what any responsible Marine would have done at this point. We caught it. So we had it in this metal coffee can or some kind of can that we found, and put a makeshift lid over it. And as we were showing it to people, like, hey, look at this spider, it leapt out of the can onto Victor's arm. And he was more calm than I was at this point, and I told him to get it off. So he swept it off of his shoulder, and it fell into my pack, and it ran between all the packs and disappeared. So at this point, we're looking around for this large spider, trying to find it because we have to sleep there tonight. And he thinks it's funny to grab a piece of grass, and as I'm bent over looking for the spider, he tickles the back of my ear and yells, "Spider." Needless to say, I did not demonstrate the best qualities out of the band. Little experiences like these are always going to be in my mind forever. They don't seem like much, but they mean the world to me. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out once more, and I'd like to thank Congressman Tom McClintock for making this honorable dedication to something so awesome possible. Thank you.
I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Your presence here says more than all of the words we can speak about what Victor Dew meant to our community and what his heroism and sacrifice means to our country, and also about the irredeemable debt that we owe to his family for the sacrifice that they endure every day. You know, at Gettysburg, Lincoln reminded us that our words cannot add or detract from the heroic deeds of these honored dead. But Shakespeare was also right that this story, should the good man teach his son. Victor Dew grew up here in Granite Bay. It was here in this town where he went to school, where he fell in love, and where his character was molded. I regret I didn't know him, but I feel like I did because of so many of the stories that so many of you have shared. At the time he was 12 years old, he dreamed of becoming a Marine. Everybody who knew him remembers him most for his sunny and cheerful disposition. We heard a little bit of that just now. Always cheering people up, always standing up for the underdog. He loved military history. He was fully aware of the mortal dangers he would face. And yet, he enlisted in the Marines, and when he was offered a posting with the Presidential Honor Guard, he turned it down. He believed his duty and destiny was to keep the fight away from our shores, away from his family and his neighbors and his country. And so he chose combat, even when he had been offered safe and honorable service at home. He had everything to live for: a loving family, a remarkable fiancée, a large circle of devoted friends, a close-knit community, and a free country. What sets him apart is that he was also willing to die for these things. So we gather here today. We reflect on Marine Lance Corporal Victor Dew and his comrades with a profound humility to have known them or to have known of them, and with the most profound gratitude for their service and for their sacrifice. There are other Gold Star families here today whose grief is just as great today as the day when the casualty officer knocked on their door. There are Blue Star families here who wait anxiously for their loved ones to return. I don't know how these families can bear it, but I do know what we owe them.
Sure what you said.
My family and your family have been safe and secure in our homeland because young men like Victor Dew were willing to take and to keep the fight over there. We owe these families an enormous debt of gratitude. We can never repay that debt, but we can at least acknowledge it. Every one of you here is doing precisely that with your presence, and God bless you for doing so. A few years ago, I had the honor to visit members of the United States Infantry Old Guard who tend the tomb of the unknown soldiers at Arlington Cemetery. You may have seen them yourselves. Tourists often watch them on warm spring days. They're meticulously dressed, painstakingly drilled, honoring the memory of these soldiers. But tourists don't often show up during hurricanes or in driving snowstorms or at 2 a.m. in driving sleet and rain. But the Old Guard does. And I asked a young sergeant once that was doing this, "Why do you do this?" And he said, "Because, sir, we want to demonstrate to our fellow Americans that we will never forget." Today, the friends and neighbors of Victor Dew are gathered here pursuant to an act of Congress to name the United States Post Office in his hometown of Granite Bay in his honor, and as a token of our commitment that we too will never forget. All things mortal will pass. Someday this post office will be gone. Someday all of us will be gone. But the selfless deeds and quiet patriotism of young men like Victor Dew are recorded not in acts of Congress or on plaques on buildings, but rather in the eternal and indestructible archives of time itself. They will not tarnish or fade. They will stand for the ages as a testament to the value of liberty, the character of those who step forth to defend it, and as the most profound lesson of the true meaning of the words that Victor Dew lived every day of his life. Semper Fidelis.
To all our friends of the military world and the families and loved ones of 3-5, we are so very honored to bring you this special Granite Bay Post Office dedication for Lance Corporal Victor Dew. Freedom is not free, and we must never forget. On behalf of the Honor Group, we say Semper Fi and God bless America.